Okay, good evening. I'd like to welcome everybody to the September 16th voting session. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Colleen, please call roll.
Mr. Ambrose.
Present.
Castro.
Here.
Mr. Bloom.
Here.
Mr. King.
Here.
Mr. Miller.
Here.
Mr. O'Neill.
Here.
Mr. Ross.
Here.
Dr. Eunice.
Here.
Mr. Zaritsky.
Here. Okay, under routine items, an executive session of the school board was conducted on September 9th, 2020, and also today at 6 p.m. And this executive session was to discuss personnel matters and to receive information. Moving on to minutes. Number one is to approve the combined work and voting session minutes from the August 20th, 2020 meeting, which is found on attachment A. I'm looking for a motion on item one.
So move.
Mr. Bloom, second. Mr. Ross, is there any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Move on to the treasurer's report, Mr. King.
Following bills and reports are submitted for approval. A, pay bills. Number one, confirm the August 2020 general fund payments in the amount of $1,640,489.17, attachment B. Number two, to confirm the August 2020 cafeteria fund payments in the amount of $9,121.15, attachment C. B, the report to approve the August 2020 Berkheimer report, attachment D.
Okay, motion by Mr. King, second, Mr. O'Neill. Is there any discussion?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. King.
One question, are we done with the construction payments for Todd Lane?
Yeah, yes, the balance is zero. All the money has been expended.
Okay, good.
Any other discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, on public comments, Mr. Miller, is it open up for public comments online?
There's nothing.
Okay, there is nothing, but we will continue to monitor those through, and we'll see if there's any in, and we'll read them towards the tail end of the meeting. I don't have anything under agenda items. I don't see anything under negotiations, Mr. King. So we'll move to education, Ms. Belcastro.
All right. Number one, to approve the 2020-2021 supplemental positions, and I so move that.
All right, motion by Ms. Belcastro, second, Mr. Moad. Is there any discussion on item one? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Dr. Eunice, technology, any?
Just the only thing I want to say is that we're executing our tasks and keeping right on track,
All right,
trying to help the students and teachers out and make everything work together.
thank you. Mr. O'Neill, athletics.
Number one, to approve the following fall conditioning programs for up to 60 total hours per program at $10 per hour. Brandon Ambrose for boys basketball, Chris Rasso for girls basketball, Kevin Morose for wrestling. I'd like to make a motion to accept all.
Right. Motion by Mr. O'Neill, second. Mr. Bloom, any discussion on item one? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. I don't see anything under extracurricular, Mr. Ross. Building and grounds,
Nothing.
all clear, Mr. Moad. Mr. Bloom, you get the honors tonight. We'll move on to personnel.
Okay, we're looking to approve to the 2020-21 substitute list pending receipt, review and acceptance of all clearances listed on attachment F. To approve the following building monitor positions at a rate of $10 an hour pending receipt, review and acceptance of all clearances. Kimberly Cunningham at Center Grange, Jennifer Checketts at Center Grange, and Erin Licht at Todd Lane. Number three, to approve George Popolitis as a part-time custodian at a rate of $13.50 an hour pending receipt, review and acceptance of all clearances effective September 18th, 2020. Number 4, to approve an FMLA for a middle school teacher from August 31st, 2020 through October 10th, 2020. Number 5, to approve the retirement of Vicky Swinar, elementary teacher, effective June 5th, 2020, attachment G. Number 6, to approve an FMLA request for an elementary teacher from August 31st, 2020 through November 23rd, 2020. The district reserves the right to deny any request to rescind the leave. Number 7, to approve the resignation of Amber Cable, paraprofessional, effective August 24th, 2020, attachment H. Number 8, to approve the resignation of Karen Kovach, paraprofessional, effective August 23rd, 2020, found on attachment I. Number 9, to approve Emily Geary as a long-term sub at Center Grange for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of $130 a day, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 10, to approve Camille Castanova as a long-term substitute at the high school for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of $130 a day, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 11, to approve Monica Sorsini as a half-day long-term substitute at the middle school for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of $65 a day, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 12, to approve Michelle Provenzo as a long-term substitute at Todd Lane the first semester at a rate of $130 a day, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 13, to approve an unpaid leave for a cafeteria worker from August 26, 2020, to October 1st, 2020. Number 14, to approve Jessica Rocknick as a half-day long-term sub at Center Grange for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of $65 a day, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 15, to approve Lauren Leone as a half-day long-term substitute at Center Grange for the 2020-2021 school year at a rate of $65 a day, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances. Number 16, to approve an FMLA request for an elementary teacher pursuant to the expanded FMLA provisions of the Families First Coronavirus Relief Act. The leave is approved for a specified duration of 8 weeks, shall commence on September 14th, 2020, and expire on November 5th, 2020. The district reserves the right to deny any request to rescind the leave. Number 17, to approve an FMLA request for a paraprofessional of September 18th, 2020 through November 25th, 2020. Number 18, to approve the resignation of Lisa Scaretta, cafeteria general worker, effective September 8th, 2020, found on attachment J. Number 19, to approve the resignation of Kristen Zahn, cafeteria general worker, effective August 31st, 2020, found on attachment K. Number 20, to approve the resignation of Tanel Antonelli, paraprofessional, effective September 14th, 2020, attachment L. Number 21, to approve a 2-year contract for Amy Zarinsky as a human resource coordinator beginning September 17th, 2020. Number 22, to approve Ray Pransky as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVSD agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective September 17th, 2020. Number 23, to approve the resignation of Pam Conkle, paraprofessional, effective August 31st, 2020. Number 24, to approve Ada Moran as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVESP agreement, pending receipt, review, and acceptance of all clearances, effective September 21st, 2020. Number 25, to approve Madison Baraducci as a paraprofessional at a rate of $13.50 an hour in accordance with the CVESP agreement, pending receipt, review, acceptance of all clearances, effective October 1st, 2020. I so move.
Okay. Mr. Bloom makes the motion on items 1 through 25. Second, Mr. Moat. Any discussion, any questions on these items? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Finance.
Nothing at this time.
Okay, so we will move on to superintendent comments? And then, or do we want to hit public comment?
Public comments.
All right, so we'll go, we do have a couple of public comments. Number one is from Kristen Milanovich, 108 Park Drive. And the comment is, thank you to all the administration, board, and specifically the middle school administration, faculty and staff, as the return to school has gone well. Moving forward, is the Central Valley School District keeping data from the percent positive rates in the county and the district to determine the continuing of in-person learning?
Yes, thank you, Kristen, for your kind words. And yes, I do follow the Department of Health metrics that they provide us. The week of September 4th through the 10th, Beaver County was down 61 confirmed cases for an incident rate of 35.2 and a percent positivity of 5.7, which would continue to leave Beaver County and the Central Valley School District in the moderate category. Also, with regards to the positivity rates and any change in that, we certainly will, as we've said from day one, or if we have a confirmed case here, we'll continue to work with the Pennsylvania Department of Health and follow their guidance with regards to what the district should be doing with in-person learning, quarantine, so on and so forth. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Perry. All right, we have one more question. It's from Greg Brown, and the street address is beavervalleytoday.com. He does have an email address of Greg Brown 2016@comcast.net. The comment is, this evening you explained reasons for executive session on September 9th and today, September 16th, as personnel matters and to receive information. Under Pennsylvania sunshine law, these are lacking. The law requires specifically to the degree that the public can determine whether or not the closed sessions are valid. I will turn this question over to the solicitor.
Happy to clarify those, the reasons for those executive sessions. The personnel matters were related to hiring for a particular position, specifically the human resources coordinator. In addition, there were other personnel discussions related to confidential medical information pursuant to certain leave requests. Such matters are otherwise privileged and subject to not subject to public discussion. And the board also received information from the superintendent without deliberation.
Okay. That is all the questions that I see in the queue, so we will close that. And then we will turn it to Dr. Perry for superintendent comments.
Yes, two things. We will announce, we said to the public, we would announce our plan for the home sporting events specifically. We announced all of them. We said we would follow specifically with high school football, varsity football, and we'll put something out to the parents and the public tomorrow with regards to that. And also, open houses are going to be held virtually this year. We are planning on doing all of them on October 7th versus having different nights for different buildings. Those will all be recorded. There'll be a set time in which the parents can go on and they can hit the link for those open house nights. Then there'll be presentations that'll be done. And then each of the teachers will be doing virtual presentations as well that will be embedded to those presentations. And then they'll be able to set up virtual conferences with teachers should they want to do that moving forward, more of a one-to-one basis. We'll be announcing all that, getting that information out.
So Dr. Perry, those will be pre-recorded, and if parents have students at different buildings, they can pick and choose which they want to hear when.
So we got to take our mindset off of how we've always done things.
Right.
Those we're making them all live at the same time on the same night, but you could watch it the next night. You could watch it later that night. You could watch it whenever.
Gotcha.
And we'll make sure that's communicated to the families.
Anything else, Dr. Perry?
That's all I have.
All right, board comments. Mr. Ross?
No comment tonight.
Mr. Bloom?
Nothing.
Mr. Ambrose? Dr. Eunice?
Nope, thank you.
Mr. O'Neill?
Nothing.
Mr. King?
No, sir.
Mr. Moad?
Comments?
Ms. Belcastro?
Nothing, thank you.
Okay, all right. Well, with that, no other comments. I'll take a motion to adjourn. Mr. King, or do you have a comment?
We go into executive session.
No. Motion for adjourn. Mr. Moed, second, Ms. Belcastro, all in favor?
Aye.
All right, meeting adjourned.